Dylan, better known as BoomerNA online, is a 19-year-old Minecraft YouTuber and Twitch streamer from the United States who has been rising in popularity since late March of this year across all platforms. Interestingly enough, contrary to some of the other Minecraft content creators I've made videos on, Dylan is not in any SMPs as of the time I'm writing this script. But that's probably bound to change at some point down the line, especially when taking into account that the hashtag #BoomerForDSMP was trending on Twitter just a few months ago. Although I obviously can't say for sure whether or not that will happen, but a man can dream, right? Anyhow, as of this moment, he's mostly known for making Bedwars Content, a popular game mode on the Hypixel Minecraft server in which players must destroy the beds of the opposing teams while keeping theirs intact. As long as your team's bed is intact, you will have unlimited lives. However, the second an opponent has broken your bed, you'll be on your last life and will be unable to respawn if you die. It's also worth noting that he will sometimes collaborate with other Minecraft content creators on these streams. Examples of people he's collaborated with include Purpled and HannahXX Rose, although for the most part he seems to be a solo streamer. Nonetheless, Dylan was not always a Bedwars streamer. Initially, he was actually a League of Legends streamer, with his first stream having taken place on December 26, 2017. And I feel that this is the perfect place to start the video off on, that being Dylan's beginnings. Let's get right into it. So as I just mentioned, Dylan's first ever stream occurred on the day after Christmas of 2017, and in it he was playing League of Legends, a popular MOBA that no one should ever play because the player base is horribly toxic. So just stay the hell away from it for your own sake. But anyhow, the stream in question was titled The One and Only Kindred God Playing on a Smurf and Feeding. It lasted 5 hours and 7 minutes. Throughout the stream, he averaged 6 viewers and peaked at 7. From this point onward, Dylan would continue to rarely stream throughout both 2018 and 2019, solely sticking to League of Legends. He streamed 15 times in 2018 and about 67 times in 2019. However, from his first stream on December 26, 2017 until the end of 2019, he had only gone from 754 followers to 907 followers in the span of 2 years. Meaning that during these 730 days, he had only gained 153 followers. Things were indeed not playing out in Dylan's favor if he wanted to make something out of this. Although for the majority of 2020, Dylan would continue to stream League of Legends solely, occasionally branching out into other games such as Minecraft, Warzone, or Terraria. However, it wasn't until September 14th that Dylan realized that Minecraft was the way to go going forward. This is because he was raided by two prominent Minecraft streamers, Puns and Bad Boy Halo. In response to this, he made a tweet that says, "An absolute banger stream. Thank you to some of my original Minecraft homies on the internet, at Saints of Games and at PunsTW. I love you both and thank you for this incredible opportunity. Let's ride this thing out, baby. Good vibes and good times. The Froge King." Attached was a screenshot of the stream statistics in which we can see that Dylan had garnered an additional 1,118 followers, a peak of 8,209 viewers, and an average of 869. Considering that Dylan had never seen such numbers on a stream of his before this, from this day forward Dylan halted all League of Legends streams and instead focused on solely streaming Minecraft, a decision that would get him to where he is today. However, before further analyzing this, I reached out to Cacper, a Twitter mutual and friend of Dylan's, to ask him this question. What do you think would have happened if Boomer had stuck to League of Legends streams and never transitioned away from them? Would he be where he's at today? Here was his response.
Honestly, I think if Boomer stuck to League of Legends streams, he wouldn't have blown up as much as he did. I think he would still have a decent sized community, it would be nowhere near as big of a community he has today. I am really happy that Boomer did move on to streaming a different game like Minecraft, just cause the Minecraft community is so much more welcoming. And Fitz's just humour and personality so much better than just the League community could ever have. And it's just overall really insane to see how much Boomer has blown up in the past year. And I'm really happy for him, and I just hope he keeps growing and growing and growing. Also, the last thing I want to say before I go is #BoomerForDSMP.
Thanks for being a part of the video, Cacper. It's very much appreciated. Let's now go over Boomer's transition into Minecraft content. Minecraft is a game that many people have garnered success from, especially over the past 2 years since the resurgence of Minecraft content on both YouTube and Twitch respectively. Having been provided the opportunity he was given, Dylan thought the most logical thing to do was to take advantage of it and pursue making this type of content. I can't say he made a lapse in judgment since it's quite possibly the best decision he could have made. Following the raid on September 14th, as aforementioned, Dylan set his sights on just doing Minecraft content, and as a result he began to obtain a steady, relatively small viewership as he would average anywhere from 30 to 100 viewers per stream. However, as time went on and Dylan gained more prominence within the Minecraft community, the average viewers per stream rose. By the beginning of this year, end of last year, he averaged 200 viewers to 700, almost 800 viewers per stream. It's quite the leap to make in just a span of 3 or 4 months. Now, I feel that this rapid rise in the viewer counts can be attributed to 2 different things: raids and connections, but let's cover the raids first. Now, since I hadn't explained it earlier, for those unaware, a raid on Twitch is when the streamer sends their viewers over to another stream when they're ending their own. In turn, by doing this, if the raider just so happens to be a prominent streamer, it can be incredibly beneficial to the person being raided, and this exact scenario just so happened to occur to Dylan a handful of times. Apart from the raid on September 14th, Dylan had shared news of 3 of the other substantial raids he had received on his Twitter. The first one being on October 4th, in which he tweeted, "Another one for the books, man. Thank you for the massive support. Out Velvet is cake and at not Ant Frost. I love you homies till the day I die. Mwah." As a result, he peaked at 1,208 viewers, had an average of 194, and gained himself an extra 384 followers. Following this raid, he had received another one only 17 days after this one on October 21st. In response, the tweet that Dylan made says, 12-hour stream, check. 7k followers reached, check. Second place in Twitch Rivals, check. Chica Dance done, check. Thank you to at Jojo Solos, at the Awesome Dude, and at You're So Fam for all the support and raids. It was an absolute banger stream and I'm so grateful for this community. The attached screenshot showed that he had averaged 226 viewers, peaked at 1,313, and garnered 489 followers. However, the most significant raid that Dylan had received took place on November 30th. Both Captain Puffy and Bad Boy Halo raided him, and this undoubtedly was a massive raid since these are 2 huge Minecraft content creators with large viewerships up in the thousands per stream. The tweet he posted said this: "Thank you so much at Captain Puffy and at Saints of Games for the huge raids today. Thank you seriously from the bottom of my heart. You are such amazing creators and I'm extremely grateful to have been introduced to your audiences. Love you." Consequently, Dylan averaged 1,182 viewers, peaked at 8,463, and gained 1,514 followers, making this his most significant stream to date at that point. It's undeniable that these 3 raids helped Dylan tremendously and made him stick to Minecraft instead of moving towards some other game or going back to League. Had he never switched to Minecraft initially, Dylan may have never made it to where he is today. So he certainly made the right choice for his streaming career long term. But let me ask you a question: can you see the pattern in these raids? Well, if you can't, let me spell it out for you. One word: connections. Dylan was raided by these content creators with enormous followings, and it wasn't by chance or luck or anything of the sort. Dylan had known these people before being raided by them. Whether they were merely acquaintances or friends, they were familiar with each other and they saw some sort of potential in Dylan to go out of their way to raid him. Evidently, he's been friends with both Bad Boy Halo and Puns for a considerable amount of time, since the wording in his tweet thanking them for the raid indicates that. So I have no doubt that they introduced Dylan to other members of the Minecraft community, and eventually it just became a snowball of events to the point where he knew many people within the community. The fact is that networking is certainly not anything to underestimate, and Dylan clearly understood this concept. Nevertheless, as you can expect, Minecraft is extensive since it's a game with endless possibilities. There's so much you can do in it. With such extensivity comes an abundance of content in the form of both videos and live streams. So naturally, everyone and their grandmother wants to make Minecraft videos. Because of this, one needs to find a way to stick out from the crowd, and Dylan had to do just that since initially there was no focus to his Minecraft content. This is the point where Bedwars would come in to be his saving grace. But before delving any deeper into that, I reached out to Soundify, another one of Dylan's Twitter mutuals and friends, to ask him this question. Had Boomer never received the initial opportunity to have an audience because of the raid he received from Bad Boy Halo and Punch on September 14th, 2020, and if he hadn't had the connections he did, would Boomer have garnered as much success as he has in the Minecraft community? Here's what he had to say.
I generally feel that getting any slight of initial exposure is hard right now in the Twitch scene because of how saturated the platform has become, but I do feel that if Boomer did not have the connections he had today, he was not going to explode as quick as he did with the little push that he was given. And this goes without saying with, other plenty small streamers as well. It's just really hard to get that initial exposure that allows you to get recognized to begin with on Twitch. I met Boomer about a year ago through a League game, and he's been nothing but a hilariously funny guy, wholesome content machine, and extremely good at video games. But I do believe that the switch he made from playing and streaming League and converting himself over to a Minecraft has allowed him to at least enjoy gaming more, nonetheless bring out an even better version of himself. And I believe that Boomer would have had the same success whether or not he got rated. It just would have taken him a bit longer. And the reason I say that is because he just radiates a good time in his stream. If you've been to his stream at least once or twice, you definitely will come back, because he will leave you smiling at the end of the stream, or at least lift your energy up, or maybe at least start your day off amazing. He's just an amazing content creator, and he deserves every bit of his success.
Thanks for partaking in the video, Soundify. I appreciate it. Let's now cover the Bedwars content that Dylan makes. As I mentioned in the video's introduction, Bedwars is a prevalent game mode on Hypixel, one of the largest Minecraft servers in existence, and it's a game mode that Dylan is exceptionally good at. As a matter of fact, he's the self-proclaimed Bedwars CEO, so that should probably give you an idea as to how good of a player he is. Like, seriously, he could lay down some mad pipe on my little asshole. It would not be pretty. But anyhow, as you can probably expect, with such prevalence and taking into account the fact that Dylan is actually good at Bedwars, it only made sense for him to pursue making this type of content, especially since it has proven to be quite fruitful. Ever since his first Bedwars stream on December 28th of last year, it's been nothing but dubs. His viewer counts have continued to rise progressively, and they're now at a point where at times he'll average over 10,000 viewers. It's truly bonkers. However, this doesn't come as a surprise to me, since when looking at the Google Trends chart for Bedwars, if you look at both the web and YouTube searches for the game mode, it's been consistently relevant over the past year with no sign of it dipping anytime soon. Not only this, but there's a whole community of content creators who are solely dedicated to making Bedwars content. If you search for Bedwars on YouTube, some prominent examples of these content creators include Purple, HannahXX GamerBoy80, and Bedless Noob, the former two of which Dylan is friends with and has played Bedwars with on stream. Speaking of which, Dylan's biggest stream of all time took place just 2 weeks ago, as of the time I'm writing this script on June 4th, in which he and Hannah met up with each other at Hannah's house for the first time ever. He averaged 17,431 viewers, peaked at 27,694, and gained 4,312 followers, marking an all-time high in both average and peak viewers. They played Bedwars and On the Dream SMP throughout the stream. It was a grand old time for sure. Nonetheless, apart from his Twitch, Dylan's YouTube and TikTok are pretty much exclusively Bedwars content, with some exceptions here and there. 10 of the 18 videos on his YouTube channel are related to Bedwars if you count the video titled Face Reveal as part of those videos. I mean, technically you should, since he does play Bedwars in the video, so yeah, we'll leave it at 10. Although YouTube is the smallest platform, currently sitting at over 88,800 subscribers, but despite its relatively low subscriber count, the channel still manages to pull in pretty decent views, sometimes even exceeding the number of subscribers he has. However, his TikTok and the Bedwars videos on it are on a whole nother level. This is no real surprise though, since he has quite a substantial following of 600,000 followers on the platform. Plus, TikTok has an incredibly easy algorithm to game. It seems like anyone who makes Minecraft content on TikTok pops the fuck off. In addition to this, the clips that Dylan posts onto the platform are quick, snappy, and comedic, so they tend to bring in your attention in pretty fast, and they are perfect for a platform such as TikTok, where everyone has an attention span of about 3 seconds. But for those who want to see more of his content, he always makes you aware of the fact that one can find his Twitch link in his TikTok bio by adding some text in the video that states that. Bear in mind that these videos get hundreds of thousands of views, so there's bound to be some overlap between both his TikTok audience and his Twitch audience. One should never underestimate the power of TikTok. Hell, I should probably use it more often, to be fair, since it's a damn good marketing tool. But altogether, from his Bedwars stream on the 28th of December up until now, he's gone from about 15,000 Twitch followers to over 431,000 in just half a year, making this an increase of 416,000 followers in 6 months. With that being said, you can't deny that switching over to Bedwars was an intelligent move on Dylan's part, because it sure as hell was. Had he never made the switch, he would have remained a generic Minecraft creator like any other, with little to differentiate him from others. We all know that you're not going to get anywhere if you blend in with the crowd. However, by picking out a specific niche within the Minecraft community, and not to mention a niche that many people are interested in, Dylan was able to distinguish himself from others successfully and come out triumphant, which is certainly no small feat. However, Dylan is someone who I believe to still very much be in the infancy stage of his streaming career. He's still got a long way to go. I mean, he's only been doing this for a bit over 3 years, and while he's done a considerable amount of things within a relatively short period of time, I think there's a lot in store for Dylan's future, and I'd like to elaborate on this further. But before doing so, I reached out to Gibberish, one of Dylan's Twitch mods, to get their take on why Dylan decided to choose Bedwars as his niche by asking them this question. Why do you believe that Boomer decided to hone in on Bedwars content as opposed to some other kind of Minecraft content? Here was their answer.
When I first started watching Boomer, he would stream mostly Minecraft on his hardcore world, and he averaged around 50 viewers per stream. These streams were more laid back with some high energy segments where he'd tell chat a funny story or make some jokes with chat. I remember around end of November, if I recall correctly, he started playing some Bedwars games. This was around the time that Bedwars streamers were getting more recognition, so I think he chose to play it because that's what a lot of people were playing at the time. He started gaining more average viewers and he just stuck to it. It was some fresh new content for him and it brought on some viewers. I feel like Boomer is the kind of person that needs some diversity in what he does, which is something that Bedwars brings. You never know who you're going to be up against, and there's always a player doing something funky that can create a bit of content for a stream. This is some interaction that you don't really get in a hardcore world. Although you do get to interact with chat, there's not the interaction with other players that you get in a multiplayer game mode, and it can get repetitive. He also started posting some Bedwars clips on TikTok, and that really blew up. I believe this showed him that this is the type of content people enjoy and want to see, and once he really focused on it, he saw some amazing growth. Boomer is a very high energy person, and Bedwars is a very high energy game, so it makes a great match, and people like that. They like when he's loud and makes weird jokes. That's who Boomer is, the Bedwars player who screams, loves frogs, and talks about eating glue.
Thanks for participating in the video, Gibberish. It's much appreciated. Let's conclude the video by covering what Dylan's future may look like. So you may have been confused by what I meant when I said that Dylan is in the infancy stage of his streaming career. Well, what I mean by this is that he hasn't been doing this for a very long time, especially full-time, since he's only been a full-time streamer since February of this year, just 4 months ago. And when compared to other content creators, that's a relatively short amount of time to be doing this full-time. This means that there's still a lot in store for him in the future. Hell, I've been doing this for almost 8 years now, and I feel like there's still a lot in store for me as well, so I could only imagine the feeling is a lot stronger when you've only been doing something for 4 months. But anyhow, let me lay out some predictions for what I think may be in store for Dylan in the coming months, and potentially even years. First off, when considering the rate that he's growing at currently across all of his social media platforms, by the end of this year I'd say that he'll be at about 250,000 YouTube subscribers, 750,000 Twitch followers, and 500,000 Twitter followers. If I end up being wrong about this, don't go nagging me about it, you little naughty dogs. Secondly, I could see Dylan landing himself a spot on the Dream SMP at some point. I say this because, as I mentioned in the video's introduction, the hashtag #BoomerForDSMP was trending on Twitter a few months ago, and the hashtag has actually trended on numerous occasions. Also, when considering the connections Dylan has formed throughout his time being a Minecraft content creator, I think he can get himself a spot on the server, especially since he's friends with a handful of the members. Lastly, I'd say that the possibility of Dylan joining the organization exists. For those unfamiliar with these, the streamer organization is just a collective of streamers that produce content together, and they usually tend to be businesses. Examples include OTK, 100 Thieves, and Envy. However, the specific organization that I see Dylan joining is Cloud9, a prominent esports organization mostly known for League of Legends, Rocket League, CSGO, Fortnite, and Smash. Although if they're smart, they'll know that branching out to Minecraft will benefit their org even more. To elaborate on why I believe that Dylan might join Cloud9, the reason I think this is that on 3 separate occasions, Cloud9 has replied to Dylan's tweets relating to the Dream SMP, expressing support and essentially vouching for him to be on the server. Now call me a conspiracy theorist, but I genuinely believe that this isn't a coincidence, so if I end up being correct and Dylan does indeed end up joining Cloud9, don't hesitate to quote me on it. But aside from those 3 things, we'll have to play everything else by ear since I can't predict anything else, frankly. Again, let me reiterate that these are just predictions and they may or may not happen. However, it would be pretty neat to see all 3 predictions be accurate. It would finally relieve me of my horrible prediction of Tommy Innit reaching 1 million subscribers by the end of 2020. Still, to be fair, I guess some sins can never be cleansed. But anyhow, to wrap up this section of the video, I reached out to Moms Offline, a Twitch streamer who very recently had the opportunity to interview Dylan on his talk show called Inside the Streamer Studio, to ask him, where do you see Boomer in the future? Here's what he had to say in response.
Where do I see Boomer in the future? I don't know if that's the question we should be asking, because I see Boomer as the future. I see Boomer as the future of content creation, of Minecraft. I mean, he's an extremely talented streamer, someone whose energy is so magnetic that people just gravitate around him, whether that be other content creators or his own community. So I think at this point in Boomer's journey, it's more so how much he's willing to put in and invest into content creation, into his community, and into, you know, wanting to do this as a big part of his life. But you know, in terms of trying to navigate where Boomer's future is, I mean, sky's the limit, in my opinion.
Thanks for taking part in the video, Moms. I genuinely appreciate it. However, now that everything has been said and done, let's wrap the video up. In conclusion, it is undeniable that Dylan has come incredibly far in a reasonably short amount of time. First, by transitioning from League of Legends to Minecraft content, he took the first step in becoming what he is today. Then, by narrowing his content down to Bedwars, he was able to fill a space within that niche, allowing him to stand out from other creators. Not to mention that it's a niche with a lot of interest, so in turn, Dylan was able to grow even more from transitioning to it. Lastly, the connections that he's made during his time creating Minecraft content and prior have allowed him to propel himself forward. As time goes on, Dylan will undoubtedly be presented with more opportunities to network with other content creators, allowing him to collaborate with new people and make his friendship circle even more extensive than it already is. Dylan's future is one that certainly looks promising, and it's one that I will be keeping an eye on. But besides that concludes the video. I'd like to thank you for watching it if you made it this far, and if you happen to enjoy it, it'd be greatly appreciated if you drop the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. I'd also like to take a second to thank everyone who participated in the video. They were a great help, and I'd appreciate it if you went and checked them all out. The links will be down in the description below. Once again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll see you next one.